What I need to do for this truck now is to make up a bracket to hold my throttle cable, because as you can see on this particular manifold, the bolts go straight front to back, but on this bracket they're angled. So my bracket would be sitting like that, or it would be sitting all kooky like that. So what I need to do is I need to make an entirely new bracket for it. This carburetor is also going to be up on a 1-inch spacer. So before I finalize everything, I got to put my spacer underneath of it and make sure that I'm going to be sitting at the right height. And the cool thing about some of the Fords is they have an internal spring built into the throttle cable, so you don't have to worry about monkeying other springs all over the place. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up some strap steel and get to work on this. This is the strap steel that I'm going to be using. It's 1/8 inch thick, 1 inch wide, and I went ahead and put myself a center line on there, so that way when I brought my bracket down, I'll be able to line some holes up on it and get them drilled. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off at this point, and then I'll fab this up on the engine and then figure out what direction I need to mount this arm onto to actually hold the throttle bracket. Then up at the top, I'm going to have to make this little U with a single bolt hole underneath of it to actually hold the bracket in the truck. So, time to get to some drilling and cutting. Got the spacer plate mounted, got my studs in there, carburetor sitting back on top. I already went ahead and made my mounting tab to go to the intake manifold. Now I am over here on the workbench, and what I need to do is I need to recreate this little open end here with a hole underneath of it to actually hold the cable into the bracket. So I just went ahead, drilled 2 holes of the right size, took my angle grinder, cut this open, and now I'm going to strap it up in the vise and take a file to it and open that up so the cable will fit. I got my throttle bracket fabbed up. It sits a little high, so if I ever do this again, I'm going to make it probably about 1 inch or 1.5 inches shorter, but we run a small air cleaner, so it's going to fit. And sorry about the view. I made it so that this is going to be adjustable. So I've got my piece holding my throttle cable welded to one piece of plate, and then the piece of plate that's on the throttle bracket, I'm going to go ahead and cut a couple 1/4 inch slots in this so we have a little maneuverability, even though where it's set at now is perfect. I don't have any tension on the carb or on the spring or anything like that. And I put 2 dots on the top of it so I knew exactly where they were going to sit for where I punched my holes. This is what I came up with for my throttle bracket. Got my provision to put my cable and my screw through. I got it bolted on there where I know it's set just right. I do need to make slots in here to make this adjustable if I ever change the carburetor out. But I'm not really worried about that for now because we're going to be driving this thing with this carb for a while. So I'm going to get a coat of paint on it and get it ready to get bolted on the engine. Got my bracket done.